All right, we're on the record. So, Fryer, Dave, Nancy, Niall, I hope I'm saying that right. I know I can say O'Sullivan, right? Dave, and Chris. Welcome. So, my name's David Vaughan. Thanks a lot for being here. I do appreciate everybody coming in and joining me. I am the Entrepreneur's Geek, and we are here to talk about why Periscope and Skype and every other platform is doing nothing but proving how important it is that you always build your email list. So I've been doing scopes since yesterday. I've been doing scopes longer than that, but I've been doing scopes since yesterday. When I found, so here, let me give some background. So I'm an Apple fanboy. I love Android stuff too, but everything I've got is pretty much Apple related. And so I've got the iPhone, I've got the iPad, updated when the new iOS 9 came out last Wednesday, and didn't really notice anything then. But what I started noticing is, first off, when I was going into other people's streams, other people's scopes, what I was noticing is that their video was constantly freezing up. I could hear them great. But the video was all frozen. They were frozen, or it was getting real choppy. I mean, it was horrible. And so I was like, oh man, what's going on? So, I mean, I'm a tech guru. I mean, not a guru, but a geek. Okay. So I got to figure stuff out. And then I started doing a couple of different scopes. And what I noticed was all my comments were filled up with the screen's frozen. We can hear you, but you're not moving. The screen's frozen. Comments were just filling up. So this really started to bug me. I've done a video on it. I'm the type of person, I'm going to sit there. Is it my internet provider? Is it my Wi-Fi router? Is it my iPhone? Is it the iOS? Is it the app? Is it the misalignment of the planets and the constellation Galileo? I didn't know what was going on. And what I discovered through trial and error, because I'm the type of person, I just got to figure out, I don't like just problems. I like finding possibilities and solutions. What I discovered was, in order for me to be able, or anybody else to be able to have a valid working front-facing selfie cam Periscope scope session going on without frozen video, I had to have a headset or a lav mic or whatever plugged into the headphone jack. When I did that, video using either camera worked fine. The back camera never had any problem whatsoever. It was as soon as you went to flip to the front-facing selfie cam, that's when the problem started happening. Now, this is only affecting us beloved iOS people. So let me answer a couple of questions real quick. iOS update is really messed up, isn't it? No. The iOS update's working. Actually, it's one of the best ones they've pushed out, honestly, in the last couple of updates. iOS 8 had horrible things with networking and stuff. iOS 7, I think that was just a big joke. You're on Android, but many of the followers are on iOS, and I've observed many glitches. Exactly. That's what's going on, is it's not affecting you except in who you're watching. Right? Android, you got your own bag of kittens that, are messed up. Right. So it is the app. So basically, here's what's happening. There is something going on with the Periscope app. And the Periscope app is not functioning correctly since iOS 9's update came out. So what happens with that is the fact that, and you know what, tell a little bird, get your followers up in here, because I really want to be able to share this with everybody. I want to make sure, because I've encountered so many people who have not been taking the correct action and making sure that they always try to build their list. So tell a little bird, get people in here, even for this little stuff that I'm giving them now. Excuse me. Carte Blanche Media, welcome. Thanks for being here. So anyway, the fix is, if you've got an iDevice, if you've got an iDevice, so iPhone or iPad, if you've updated to iOS 9 and you do Periscope stream, so you stream yourself, and the selfie cam, every time you flip to it, you got frozen video. What's the solution? What's the fix? you need to plug something into the headset jack. The headset jack. So either you need to plug your headset, your ear pod thing that comes with every iPhone out there, or if you've got another headset that you like to use. I mean, whatever, as long as it's got a microphone. Or I use a lavalier microphone set up with mine, so that's a microphone plugged in. Once you do that, the front-facing selfie cam will begin working exactly like it's supposed to. No frozen video. Now, Periscope's had some other issues going on. I can't fix those. There's an issue with landscape, going between portrait and landscape. That freezes the video up, whatever. But here's the whole thing. Periscope's had the exact same amount of time as every other developer of an app on iOS has had, which has been since June, to test out and figure out what's going on and get their system working correctly. And shame on Periscope for waiting till after the update is pushed out. And every other developer out there who decided to get behind the ball of updating and making sure that their app worked completely correctly with iOS 9, shame on Periscope for not pushing out their update before that. You want to know who did push out their update before iOS 9 got released? 2 days before is when we got the update, Meerkat. Why? Because they knew that they had compatibility issues. Why? Because I was actually one of the first people that reached out to Meerkat and said, hey, listen, your app's not working correctly with iOS 9. And the standard immediate response, and I let them know, it's beta, we're working on it. Well, that's fine. But that's what Periscope should have done. So now Periscope's going to get no other love than any other app. It has to go through an approval process, and then it gets pushed out. Well, if they're backlogged now, which they're going to be with all these different apps, guess what? You're going to have to wait. So here we are, Monday afternoon. There was still no update, like 30 minutes before I scheduled this blab. Who knows when the update's going to get pushed out? Who knows if the update actually fixes the issue? The issue may still arise. And then there's always the possibility that the update doesn't get pushed out because Apple, in their infinite wisdom, finds something that goes wrong with it. Okay? So here's the thing. You need to build your email list because you don't control the conversation with your audience, with your customers, with your prospects, with your leads in any other way. No other way than your email list, not even your website. And here's why. Because we all have email service providers. And I got this question pushed to me earlier today was, well, what happens if something happens with my email service provider? You're exactly right. Something could happen there. I don't control MailChimp. I don't control Aweber. I don't control Infusionsoft. But I do, and I have this scheduled as a calendar item, and I adhere to it once a month at least. I download my contacts list from my email service provider to a spreadsheet. Why? Just in case something happens and I need to communicate with my list, I can. I may have to do it very old school and it may be very time consuming, but that doesn't matter. I've got control of that conversation. You don't even have that with your website. Something happens to your website, your service provider, an update breaks that. You can lose that. YouTube, you don't control it. Facebook, you don't control it. LinkedIn, you don't control it. No other platform do you control the conversation. And I see time and time again where people are not doing a call to action for getting people onto a list. These people you should value every one of your viewers. And if they find value in you and you sit there and just ask, it's not salesy, it's not sleazy. Hey, listen, you like what I'm talking about? You want to be on the first to know? Join my list. Now, is my list ready? No, actually, it's not because, no, it's not. I'm putting out a new website today, and so the list will be up so that you can sign up there. This is sponsored by just plain old Lipton black tea. Nothing fancy. So that's my spiel in a nutshell. Skype has been down all day long. I think they're still down. I don't know. I don't use Skype. I hate Skype. And when they got bought by Microsoft, that made it even worse. Let's see if I can log in. I'm trying to log in now. Or it did log in. So maybe Skype finally got fixed. But I know that they were down early. Nope, it's still showing everybody offline. It's down for me. So I can log in. It's just offline. What do I like to use instead of Skype? I love Hangouts. Video Hangouts are just the most awesome thing in the world. Doesn't require an app, especially if they're at their computer. I can just schedule a meeting in my Google Calendar, and it gives me a link that the person can just click to join, and we're good to go. I don't like Zoom US. I know they got a lot of attention last year, and I tried them. I'm not saying that they're bad. I just don't like them. They didn't fit what I needed. Well, I mean, Zoom US, when they first started, they were pushing out themselves to be a competitor towards like GoToWebinar and GoToMeeting. And while it was neat and everything, their pricing structure wasn't really any different or anything of that nature. And they may have changed all that stuff. I haven't looked at Zoom in a long time. I'm happy with what I've got now, and I haven't found a reason to change. I don't usually start to change until, well, it's kind of like Blab. I would have never come to Blab if somebody hadn't come on my Periscope and said, hey, you need to check out Blab. So when somebody says, hey, you need to check this out, I'll go check them out. I do too. I love Blab. And I'm sorry I got the frog in my throat. The allergies have been kicking up the past couple of days because the weather decided to go back warm in the south. And I'm not that far south. I'm in North Carolina. All right. So, like I say, that's really the big spiel. If you are just joining and you didn't come in at the beginning, I was talking about what's happening with Periscope on iOS 9 users. Why it's happening, what the fix is, and why the email list is so important, because you don't control the conversation anywhere else. And so I will love to open the floor if anybody else would love to join in. Otherwise, I can sit there and just blab about anything that you would like to. You can recommend some essential oils for those allergies. Okay, sure. Recommend away. I do coconut oil. But this year's just been particularly, it's been very harsh for some reason. And I think it's been the heat and humidity that's really gotten me up. I don't know if it's so much allergies or stuff. So, yeah, absolutely. Sitting along. Like I say, I'm always willing to look at something. So thank you very much for telling a little bird, Pamela and Carte Blanche, although Carte Blanche went and took off, but that's okay. He's a busy guy. Visit your site. Okay, I will. After the scope. See, it's not a scope, it's a blab. I think that Blab has got like that. I think Blab has that trained in, so they're actually going to like take away all the props that you've ever had. I don't know. Hi. Uh-oh.
I have some questions.
Oh, there we go. Okay, now I can hear you.
You were given some great information, and I didn't want to stop that.
Oh, good. No, thank you.
So I wanted to ask, you're talking about building a list.
Yes.
I just tried building my own list on my website, and it was a challenge.
Okay.
It's not going as fast. What do you recommend? How do you get them faster?
Well, let me take this out because apparently my headphones don't want to do what they're supposed to do, so I'm going to do it this way. When you're saying faster?
Yeah, it's kind of slow. I've now been using Blab and what else? Periscope.
Okay.
To bring traffic over. I recently had a webinar in which they had to sign up and also join the list.
Yeah. How'd that go?
Not as well as I had expected, but it's my first. It was my first.
Okay.
So here I am in a position. I'm trying to grow a list of subscribers to both my website and to my YouTube channel, where I post my blabs and my periscopes about aromatherapy. I talk about aromatherapy on a daily basis.
Okay.
But there's some technical stuff that I need to know how to do. And I've been getting some help from, I think it was Carte Blanche who talked with me the other day about building my lead magnet.
Okay.
So
when you put in, okay. So what you basically been doing is providing the same link you provided to me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I can help you out with that. It's not evident what you want me to do when I get to your site.
Pardon me?
It's not evident what you want me to do when I get to your site.
Oh, okay.
So there's three things that your site needs to handle. And you need to work on the above the fold. Do you know what the above the fold is? What that means?
No.
Okay. Have you ever purchased a newspaper?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, the headliner?
Yeah. So, when you get a newspaper, it's always folded over. There's the front page, but there's the bottom half that is always sitting on top, and then there's the top half. Right? Okay. So that everything on the top half is above the fold. Okay. So your top percentage of your website, when I go to look at it, you've got Natural Therapy, About Us, Products, Contact Us, Blog, and then you've got a really pretty picture show going on, and that's your above the fold area. Okay. What you need to do is you need to let us know who you are. You need to let us know what it is that you can do for us, and you need to let us know what it is you want us to do next. Okay. All right. So if you go and look at, and this is really a sandbox site. So if you go and look at something like that site right there that I did, you will see the difference between what you've done and what I've done. And I'm not saying copy exactly. It's not saying that it worked, but I cover those three things. Okay. I think, unless I changed it. I may have changed it. I don't think I changed it. Okay. Yep. All right. Okay. Do you see how that works? You've got to help. You've got to take us by the hand and step by step walk us through basically what it is you want us to do. That's why I'm telling you what it is that I can do for you. And I'm telling you what it is I want you to do. And please, nobody go to that site and sign up, because I don't even think that like I say, it's a sandbox site that I play. But it works for you to build your list. Yes. It helps to build the list. Now, the other things that you're doing, if you're on Blab and you're on Periscope, and you come in and you just say, hey, sign up for my list, people are going to go, well, they don't have any trust. They don't know who you are. So it's the no, like, and Nancy loves saying this, and she and I connect on a bunch of levels, and we both agree with this. People do business with people that they know, like, and trust. Okay. So you got to build up that know, like, and trust. You got to make yourself into a trusted authority. We're not going to give up our information. Or if I'm going to sit there and I'm just trolling around and lurking and trying to see what it is, I'm going to give you some email address that I've come up with on MSN or AOL or a Gmail address that I never, ever check. Exactly. Simply so I can get your stuff. Okay. And so we got to know what it is so your calls to action have to constantly work. And for that to do it, you need to be able to relay your story. Okay. Share your story. Love your story. Share your story, because that's what we want. We're beyond the informational age. We're in the conceptual age now. So my above the fold needs to be addressed, but my below the fold, from what you could tell, it's okay. I didn't even pay attention to it because I don't get that far. Oh, okay. Fine. No, it's still too much. You got way too much on your front page. Too much. Okay. Yeah, way more than I would sit there and deal, because I'm not going to read through all that type of stuff. Okay. I'm coming to you. You got to think about the attention span that everybody's giving you, which is, pretty much less than 10 seconds. Okay. So you've got to speak, and that's why the above the fold is so relevant. And it's still relevant today because, even though we've got devices with Retina and all this different type of stuff, it's still smaller screens. You got to be able to fit on there. Make sure that your site is mobile responsive. Make sure it's responsive for mobile platforms, because mobile's still growing and growing, and it's going to continuously grow. And see, your site's not even mobile responsive. You got a let's talk schedule now. That pops up. Oh, I got a point for that. There, and I would just so that's what I would do. Oh, I didn't mean to lock the other seat. I didn't know that's what I did. Oh, sorry. It's been a long day. I was up at 4 a.m. and I'm on the East.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, thank you so much for
You're welcome.
taking time to talk with me and allowing me on your scope.
I'm glad I was able to help you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're absolutely welcome. And like I say, the other thing I can say is get into other people's scopes, get into other people's blabs, and help out there. As you learn information, share the information, and your list there will grow, and then you'll build your followings there. Because people will be like, oh, she's talking about something that I can relate with, or wow, she's got a lot of knowledge or something like that. And they'll want to, follow you and get into your stuff and all that type of thing. But you need to work into your streaming sessions, no matter what platform, you need to present that call to action, and you just need to work on that message and just kind of figure out, how it works. Listen to other people. Listen to what they say. What got your attention into their blab? What made you go and sign up on their list? What did they do? And you can copy that type of stuff as well. Okay.
And as for your allergies, I would recommend some peppermint and eucalyptus.
I have peppermint and I have eucalyptus. And I do coconut oil pulling. Not daily. I do it about 3 times a week now.
You do what with coconut oil?
It's called oil pulling. So I take GMO solid oil and put it in my mouth and swish it around.
Oh, I've heard of that, but I've not done that. But
it's actually done really well. It helped a tremendous amount with, I started getting more and more migraines. But like I say, this summer has been brutal on me with humidity. And I know what originally happened. I went to Florida where the humidity is even worse. I went to Florida and I got a sinus infection. And it just took me forever to get rid of it. I had to get antibiotics in me and stuff like that. And then once I started, it keeps creeping up. But it's been better up until the humidity came back this past few days.
Eucalyptus and peppermint, just about 2 to 3 drops.
Okay.
In a diffuser or in even a glass bowl of water, and just inhale the vapors in your room.
Okay.
That work wonders on that allergies.
Okay. All right. I'll give it a try. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
I'm stepping out now. Thank you so much for talking with me.
All right. You're welcome.
Okay. Bye.
And anybody else is welcome to come in if they would like. Excuse me. Otherwise, like I say, I kind of went over the gist of it. That was a little bit off topic, but it's still, building your list is always relevant and important. And so I appreciate Pamela coming in. I keep wanting to say I appreciate Oh Natural coming in, but that's not your name. I have to go up here. I wish Blab would fix that. That's the one thing I wish they would fix. So anyway. My name is David Vaughan. Thanks a lot for coming in. I'm going to go ahead and end this blab. If you've got something else that you would like me to blab with you about or do a Periscope session on, feel free to tweet at me, or you can reach out to me through the comment section here. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead